In a previous video, we installed Waybar, which is this bar on the top of the screen. And in this video, I will show you how to customize Waybar. I took the default Waybar configuration, modified it a little bit, and this is the result. So I will show you how to do it so that you can create your own Waybar customization. There are two important files when it comes to Waybar. One is called config, and the other one is style.css. And this is the location of the default Waybar configuration files. But in order to modify them, it's highly recommended to copy them into .config/waybar in our home directory. So that's what I will do now. We need to copy from etc xdg waybar everything into .config/waybar. By doing this, I am resetting the Waybar configuration to its defaults. And now I'll reload Sway using mod shift C. And there you go, these are the defaults for Waybar. So let's take a look first at this file, config. The first part of this file defines three lists: modules left, modules center, and modules right. In modules left, the important item is Sway workspaces, which shows a list of buttons, one for each active workspace in the top left corner of the screen. So these buttons correspond to this item here. In module center, there is an item that simply displays the name of the currently active window, which is this one. And in modules right, there is a bunch of indicators. Pulse audio, for example, is this item, which is for volume control, network indicator, CPU usage indicator, memory usage indicator, etc. So I will remove some of these in modules right. For example, MPD, idle inhibitor, I don't want that. And I don't want CPU indicator either. So I will save this file and reload Sway. And now they are gone, as you can see. If we scroll down on this file, you will find that for each module there is a format string defined. So, for example, if I want to change the output of this memory indicator, I can change this format string. So I will delete this icon and add is the memory usage. Save the file and reload Sway, and the change will appear up here. So I don't really want that, so I will undo these changes. But if you want to change the output of the modules, you can change this down here. So let's reload and go back to the default configuration. So you can play around with these format strings, and each module has some predefined variables that you can use in the format string. So these variables are defined in the wiki page, in the Waybar repository on GitHub. So this is all the documentation, but I won't delve into that in this video. So let's go back, close this file, and now we will take a look at the other file, which is style.css. This is a regular CSS file. Waybar uses the same CSS engine that the GNOME project uses. It doesn't support all the CSS properties that browsers support, but it's good enough for our purposes. The first CSS rule is important because it will apply to all elements, as you can guess from this selector. So let's change the font size to 20px. Save the file and reload Sway. Now let's add a border radius to all elements. So 4px as border radius, save and reload. And if you pay close attention, all elements now have rounded corners because I added the border radius. I will also add Roboto Mono medium as the default font because I like how it looks. So reload Sway. If you don't like it, you can just leave Roboto, but I like Roboto medium better, so I'll just leave that. But if you want to add Roboto medium, remember that you have to install the package ttf-roboto-mono. Okay. Now let's take a look at the second rule, And this rule applies to the bar background. It's currently semi-transparent, but I will increase the opacity a little bit because I don't like too much transparency. So let's increase this one from 0.5 to 0.9. Save the file, reload Sway. And now it's darker. Also, as you can see, the border radius is applied to all elements, including the bar background itself. And if you look closely, there are some blue pixels in the corner because of the border radius. In my case, I don't really want that, so I'll set the border radius for this element back to 0. So border radius 0. Save and reload. And now the bar background doesn't have rounded corners, so the blue pixel is gone. Let's scroll down. And this workspaces button rule is for each of these buttons in the top left corner. I will increase the horizontal padding of buttons from 5px to 0.4 EM. So if you don't know, EM is a unit of measurement that scales with the font size. So if the font size is increased, this unit will increase at the same proportion. So save the file and reload. So now, as you can see, the buttons look wider. So what we changed was the horizontal padding, but if you want to change the vertical padding, you should change this value. Okay, so it's vertical, horizontal. That's at least the case when there are 2 values. So if there were 4 values, it would be top, bottom, left, right. If we scroll down, there are some pseudo classes for the different states that the button can be in, but I won't touch this now. So just scroll down further. And this rule applies to a list of modules. So it sets a white color for the text of all of these indicators. But I actually want the text to be dark, so I will change this white to a dark gray. So 333333. That's a dark gray color. Save the file and reload Sway. And I also want to give these indicators a little bit more space, so I will change the margins. So this, I'll set it to 6px and 3px. So that's a little bit more vertical margin. Save the file and reload Sway with mod Shift C. And as you can see, now the text is black or dark gray, and there is some vertical margin, except for this one button. So we scroll down, looking for the language indicator, and it should be at the end of the file. Here it is. This is the selector. This is a CSS rule that applies to this indicator. So we want to change the text color to the same value we applied earlier. And we also want to give it the same margin, which was 6px and 3px. Save the file, reload. And now, as you can see, it's the same styles as the other indicators. And now there's only one thing that's left to do, which is changing the background color of all these indicators. So start from the first individual indicator selector. So start from the clock, and we want to change the background color to BBCCDD, which is a light blue. So let's reload to see what's the difference, and that's the color. So we scroll down to the battery. We're not using the battery, so I'll just ignore this. You can change it if you want to use this indicator. And we are not using the CPU either, but we are using memory. So same color, BBCCDD. Save and reload. Scroll down, and same thing for this network indicator. Pulse audio, same thing. And let's also change the color, because this was a pitch black, but we want a dark gray. When it's muted, we want the same thing. And I think that's everything. Let's save the file, reload. Yeah, only the language is left. The background is maybe ccdd. Save the file, reload Sway. So you can play around with this file. It's just CSS. You can create your own style. If you don't know CSS, there is a whole lot of material online where you can learn what all of this means. I won't delve deeper in this file because I just wanted to give you a basic idea. But this is how I achieved the style that I created for my customization. And another thing I changed are these gaps. So when I create a new window, there are gaps between the windows, and outside the windows there are also gaps. They look really cool in my opinion. So these gaps are configured in the Sway configuration file. So let's open that. And all you have to do is simply type a line that says gaps space inner, and then the amount of pixels you want for the inner gap, and the same thing for outer gaps, and the amount of pixels. I think that 10 and 5 are good values, but you can increase this. For example, 20 and 10 if you want. Then save the file, then reload Sway, and it won't take effect instantly because you have to delete this workspace. So quit the window and move to another workspace, move back to the workspace you were in, and then open a window, and then it will take effect. So as you can see, these gaps are wider, so you can change that value, and it looks cool, I think. And the last change I made is disabling the window title bar. So by default, there used to be a title bar here for every window you open. But I disabled that because there is already a title bar here, or a window title here. So it would be redundant, but all you have to do is open the Sway configuration file, and you say default underscore border pixel 2. That's all you have to do. And I'm gonna disable this so that you can see how it looked before. So I'll save that, reload Sway, and close this window, open up another window, and this is the title bar that I'm talking about. But I like to disable it because this information is redundant, as you can see. So let's go back. And those are the changes I made to create this customization. If you want to copy my files, they are in github.com/sandoff/sway_configs. So this is my repository where I uploaded the changes for this customization. So that's all for today. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and all of that. So thanks for watching.